All right, guys, what's happening? What's happening? It is Monday, January 17th, 2022. It's a crazy snowy day in Pittsburgh here. So I am working from home today because things look a little dicey out there this morning. But I want to talk to you guys this morning. I wanted to kick this week off talking about the science of consistency, the science behind consistency, and why consistency is so important in your life and what it will do for you when you have consistency over a long period of time. It's incredible the things that happen in your life when you create rhythm to it. When you have consistency to everything that you do, how much easier life actually gets. That's what we're going to talk about this morning. Let's get started. It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up. All right, what's happening, guys? Good morning. Happy Monday to you. Hopefully, I don't know, Daniel Good, you probably got some snow too, man. I see you tuned in here. I think everybody up and down the East Coast got a pretty good treat overnight last night. I'm looking out my window here, man. It's crazy. The roads are just covered in snow and it is still coming down, man. So I don't know how much snow exactly we're going to get. We were supposed to get somewhere between like 6 and 12 inches of snow overnight and into today. So it's going to continue snowing today. It's a big week for me, man. I got the sweatshirt on this morning. We've got the Top Contractor School Inner Circle Retreat this coming weekend. We've got it down in Marco Island, Florida. So we'll be hanging out at the JW Marriott in Marco Island. And man, there's a lot of people on here this morning. Daniel Good will be there. Ed Christensen will be there. Tammy Clark, our buddy Jeff Nelson, Gold Star Asphalt Products is our sponsor. Again, this time, man, Mr. Nelson always shows up for us and supports what we do at Top Contractor School. So grateful for him and the whole team at Gold Star. And just, man, it's such a big week. And so I started thinking about, this upcoming event. I was working on the content and everything that we're going to talk about at the event last night. And, it was amazing the difference between preparing for the last event and preparing for this event. And I started thinking about, what that meant, why it was so different, why I was so much calmer this time, why, I just kind of had this rhythm about me as I was preparing and talking to other people about the event and, what we were going to do and how we're going to do it. There was just a totally different feeling. I was just kind of steady this time, just very even keeled, no nerves, no anxiety, nothing like that, probably because I have one under my belt. But the other thing that kept coming to my mind as I was thinking about it was just the consistency at which I've been doing these things for so long and how much easier it has gotten as I have used that power of consistency, the science behind consistency that allows your brain to just know what's going to happen and know how it's going to happen and be prepared differently for that to happen because of your ability to stay consistent, right? You just kind of know what's coming. You know what to say. You've put in the work. And so the delivery of whatever that is that much easier, right? It's just that much easier to do because you've showed up so many times. You've put together so many talks like this one. You've delivered the same information and you've actually lived it, right? So that's one of the things that stands out to me in today's world is there's a lot of people that will offer you information. There's a lot of people that will try to, tell you that they're an expert. But when you actually look behind the curtain, there isn't a lot of experience there to actually back up what somebody is telling you. And so that's science of consistency, the science behind actually doing something and then showing up and being able to talk about that, it is real, because it's very easy to talk about the things that you do every day, the things that, you are undoubtedly an expert at, right? And so for me, the preparation for this event has been significantly easier because of A, what we're talking about, B, the consistency at which I have been not only doing those things, but talking about those things for a long, long time. And so that's what we're going to unpack a little bit this morning. But first, as always, I want to say good morning to some folks. Daniel Good, good morning to you, brother. Tammy Clark, my girl out there on the West Coast. Man, Tammy, I bet it's a lot warmer where you are this morning than it is where I am. It's 26 degrees right now, but it was like single-digit wind chills yesterday. So it is crazy over here in Pittsburgh. Good morning to you, Gary, Ed, Daniel Good, Scott Rhodes, Tony Grout, Brian Sherman, Jared Bird, Rick, Justin Sawden. What's happening, man? And Jeff Nelson, man, you just missed your shout out, but I'll give you another one here since you popped on. Just a big thank you to Gold Star Asphalt Products and Mr. Jeff Nelson. We've got our retreat coming up this weekend, and if it wasn't for sponsors and all the support that we get, we wouldn't be able to do the things that we do at those retreats and treat people the way that we treat them at those retreats, and make the memories that we make. And so just super grateful for Mr. Nelson's support, and also for Jeff's friendship, man. It's just an incredible guy. And Gold Star Asphalt Products, for those of you in the business, if you don't know who Gold Star is, stay tuned, because I'm going to post some things this week that's going to talk about some game-changing things that they are doing at Gold Star Asphalt Products that are going to help all of you guys that are asphalt maintenance contractors be able to do it just a little bit easier and more efficiently. And Jeff's just a great guy, man. I've known him for years now, and just always there, man. Always supporting, and a guy that has always been there to support me and everything that we do at Top Contractor School. And so super grateful for him. So back to the show here, the science of consistency. I want to talk to you guys about this because of how it has enabled massive change in my life, how it has enabled me to be able to take action on things that in the past I would have been thinking so much about. I would have been overthinking. But now I'm able to, because of the science behind consistency, I'm able to do things like this show. I'm able to speak at events like the one that I did a few weeks ago on marketing. And I don't have to spend a lot of time preparing, right? I think about what I'm going to talk about. I write down a few bullet points of what I'm going to talk about. And I really just show up and speak, show up and deliver. And the reason that I'm able to do that is the science behind consistency. And so if you actually study neuroscience, you study even psychology is attached to this, right? How that all goes together. The things that you do every single day, those things that you show up and repetitively do, you just automatically get really good at being able to show up and do those things, right? Because the anxiety in your brain, all of the things that are in your brain that make you anxious to do something, they go away. And so the analogy that I'll use is if you've ever watched a little baby learn how to walk, right? When they first start walking, they have to really think about every step, right? And you can see them putting out so much effort to be able to just balance themselves and get moving in a positive direction. But the science of consistency, as they do that day in and day out, every single day, they start to build up consistency. They start to build up the ability to do that without actually having to think about it. And so I ask you this, what is your consistency in your life? What does your consistency in your life look like? Is it something that you do? Are there things that you do every single day? And are those things easier than the things that you just decide you're going to try to do every once in a while? Fitness is a big one of these, right? For a lot of people, the people that are always in shape, really ripped and super healthy, they go to the gym every day. It's the science behind consistency allows their bodies to look like that. And for, those of us that don't go to the gym every single day, the power of consistency, the science behind consistency is actually working against us. And so look at this in every area of your life. What is it that you have that you've wanted to work on, but you've never really been able to deliver on? You've never really been able to make that change in your life. It is because the power of consistency, the science behind consistency, is actually working against you. So how do you fix it? Well, for me, the way that I've been able to implement every area of success in my life has come from implementing that into a schedule, right? Playing offense in my own life is the most important thing that I can do. And so last night, sitting on the couch, watching my Steelers unfortunately lose the playoff game against the Kansas City Chiefs, I was sitting there watching that game, but I was preparing for this week. I was looking at my schedule, and I've got just a packed schedule this week of things that I need to do. I need to organize that because the consistency at which I can show up this week is going to keep my ability to show up at the event as my best. It's going to keep that in perspective for me. So if I show up every day knowing exactly what I need to do, I'm going to play offense every day, right? I'm not going to be playing defense. I'm not going to have things being thrown at me. And when things are thrown at me, I'm going to have the ability to say no to people when something is not an issue that I should be dealing with, because I am well aware of what it is that I need to accomplish both today and this week throughout my life, throughout this week, right? As I go prepare for this event this weekend. And so the level of calm that I'm able to operate with this week will determine how I'm able to show up at this event and deliver the very important content that 50 something people, 60 people are depending on to start their 2022 and their businesses off on the right foot. And so I want you guys to think about that. How is it that you're showing up in your life? Are you playing offense or are you playing defense because you don't have any consistency? Because your schedule is always just a little bit different. You're waking up at a different time every day. You're showing up a little bit differently. You feel frazzled throughout every single day. If you feel that way, if you don't have that consistency in your life, that's what's wrong. When you have consistency in your life, when you know what time you're going to wake up, you know exactly what your routine is in the morning, you know that you're going to work out every day, you know that you're going to read scripture every morning, you know you're going to write down your goals, you're going to write down your gratitude, you're going to do all the things necessary to prepare you for your day. I call that putting the armor on. Putting the armor on for my day. I'm preparing myself for whatever it is that the devil's going to try to deal me today. I'm prepared. I'm mentally tough enough to deal with whatever it is that comes my way. But that comes from the science behind consistency. When you are consistent in your life, when you show up every day with a plan, with a playbook of how to win, you're just going to win more times than other people that don't prepare. It's that simple. Discipline to me is the price of admission. There's a lot of people out there, man, that spend a lot of time talking about, discipline and how to do it and how to this. And, they just, constantly are talking about that. And to me, I want to work with people that really, they understand the price of admission, right? They understand that showing up is a requirement. Not to say that we don't all need reminded by it. But man, there's a lot of things that we got to get to and learn in life that are far beyond discipline. So if you're having a hard time with that, man, consistency is the deal. Consistency is it. If you wake up at the same time every day, you follow the same routine every morning, you do all the things necessary to armor yourself up for the day, the rest of the day just seems a little bit easier. It seems a little bit calmer. We got a couple people that work with me day in and day out on this call. They will tell you, I don't really get bent out of shape. I don't really get anxious. I don't really get, upset about much. And the reason for that is it's the science behind consistency, man. Like I am just prepared for what it is that's going to come my way. And the other part of that, I would argue, is that my goals in my life are so big that those things that are happening on a day-to-day basis, they just don't matter that much to me, right? They're not that big of a deal to me, because the difficulty that I'm facing versus the goals that I actually have, it doesn't even really matter. It doesn't even really matter, because that thing that I'm facing today means nothing compared to where I'm going. But it's the consistency at which I can show up that's going to determine how fast that I get to that goal. And so the science of consistency is that you will stay calm far more often if your schedule is predictable, if your life is predictable, if you're playing offense instead of defense. How many of you guys have had a week where you just felt like, man, everything was coming at you? You were just playing defense every single day, right? There's just people dumping stuff in your lap. Anybody ever feel like that? Drop it in the comments here. If that has happened to you, realize that you have allowed it to happen to you. And the feeling that you had, the anxious feeling that you have had as a result of that, it's because you were not prepared. You don't have consistency in your life. Your brain is meant to be programmed. It's how you learn to walk. You don't, when you take steps today, you don't think about how to take a step. How did that happen? The consistency of how you showed up because you wanted to be mobile when you were just a little boy or a little girl allowed you to do that without thinking. How do many of you guys get in your car, start the car, drive halfway to work, and you think, man, like I don't even remember putting my bag in the back of the car. Happens to me all the time. That is the science behind consistency. When you do something every day the same way all the time, you start to get pretty good at it, don't you? And so ask yourself this Monday morning, how consistent is your schedule so that you can show up as your best, so that you can show up as the most authentic you, deliver the best information that you possibly can to other people, be consistent in the way that your words come across, be consistent in your demeanor. Your default emotion will always stay the same. Somebody won't get 1 liter one day and a different liter the next. The science of consistency will do that for you. So I challenge you to think about that this morning. We're going to talk a little bit more about this throughout this week as I prepare for this event this week. But I want you guys to really analyze how consistent is your life, or how, different is your life. Variety is the spice of life, but not when it comes to discipline in your schedule and how you show up. You definitely want to have different things every once in a while to just kind of keep things exciting. But the way that you show up every day and every week and every month, and the things that you do and how you do them, without a doubt, that is what the elite do. The elite show up the same every day, consistent. The steady hand wins every race, wins every scenario. So you guys hear me say that all the time. I aspire to be the steady hand for other people. The guy that no matter what the problem is, no matter what the challenge is, I'll be there and I'll try to help people through it. And the science of consistency supports me in that. I'm able to help other people with their challenges and be there for them, and that not create chaos in my life because of the power and the science of consistency. So I challenge you this week, be more consistent. Look at your schedule. Figure out where it is that you could do just a little bit better in consistency. How you could show up with just a little bit more intention. And I promise you, when you do it, you're going to see a massive difference in your life. A massive difference in your life. You're going to feel different. You're going to be different. You're going to have more people depending on you, more people coming to you with different things that help you build deeper relationships. But it all starts with consistency, being that steady hand. That's it for today, my friends. Happy Monday to you. I hope you guys are all safe out there. I'm looking out my window here, and it is crazy, man. There's so much snow out there. And it just keeps coming down. So appreciate you guys being here with me this morning, and I will see you again tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. I love you guys. Thanks for being here.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.